What's up, guys? Today's gonna be my top 5 favorite snakes that I have in my collection. What do you guys think I'm gonna choose? So number 1 has to be my little girl here, Kiwi, my green anaconda. And these guys are the largest bodied snake in the world, the heaviest bodied snake in the world. You know, they usually get around 16, 17 feet long max. They say they get up to 20 feet, but that's really unheard of. Yeah, these guys get to a giant size of like 200, 300 pounds. So she'll be a big girl. I don't think she'll get to that 300 pound mark, but most likely she'll hit that 200 pound mark. That takes years though, that's down the road. But yeah, this is gonna be my first snake on my top 5 favorite snakes in my collection. It's not because she is a expensive snake, it's not that. It's just the green anaconda was one of my dream snakes growing up as a kid. So definitely one of my top 5 favorite snakes in my collection. And of all time, I would say too. Did you guys guess that snake? Just these colors on this green anacondas are amazing. Wow. And I do plan on getting a mate for her. It's maybe I might breed them down the road, but it's just something I want to just get into. So we'll see. That's years down the road. Just planning ahead. I know Brian Barczyk has some green anacondas available. Might get a male for her, this girl, from him. So we'll see. Alright guys, that's Kiwi, my green anaconda, for number 1. So my next favorite snake in my collection, which will be number 2, is my banana ball python. She is a female and she's a double het clown pied. So yeah, she's a powerhouse female. I'm really trying to produce that banana clown pied, male or female. But yeah, just it's hard to come by female bananas, and especially one that's a double het clown pied. So hopefully in another year or so, she's still got to get some size. She's sitting around 600 grams right now. So it's gonna be a year or two before I even try to pair her up with anything. But just the banana alone, these were one of my favorite morphs when they came out. Just that morph alone is just a beautiful snake, if you could see. Hopefully that's coming clear in the camera. But yeah, that's number 2 in my collection. Again, this is just because it's an expensive snake doesn't mean it has to be my favorite. It just happens to be a pricey snake. But definitely a beautiful ball python. Hopefully it's coming in. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna get number 3. Let's see if you guys are guessing all my snakes right. Alright guys, I'm gonna get number 3 now. Okay, I'm gonna have to get a little close for this one, guys. This is coming in at number 3. This is my extreme red albino conda. That's a lot to say. Western hognose snake. I just love these little hognose snakes. You could just tell by their face, they're just a different type of snake, you know, just a little bit cooler of an animal to have, a cooler pet. Definitely unique. Definitely not a normal snake to have. They said they're semi-rear fang venomous snakes. They're saying that some people say they're not really that venomous to a point where, you know, it will do anything to a human. But to some people, if you are allergic, they just have to really dig those rear fangs into you. But to anybody, I don't think they'll the venom will really bother them. But yeah, that's coming at number 3. That's my Western hognose snake, the extreme red albino conda. Let's see if I can get a little bit more closer view of this girl. Haven't named her yet, but she does have a personality of her own. Doesn't want to go on the camera at all. Come on, girl. There you go. I love the Western hognose snakes. I definitely want to get a couple more. Something I want to get into. Cool. And I'm gonna move on to number 4. That's gonna be my top 5 out of my top 5 favorite snakes. All right, coming at number 4 out of my top 5 favorite snakes. This is my African rock python, the longest snake in Africa, and one of the top biggest snakes in the world. Today I saw a video that the Real Tarzan put up, and it's one of these giant African rocks climbing through the trees of Africa. It's just crazy. I can imagine just seeing one of these guys when they're a lot bigger, because these guys can get close to 20 feet mark. There's, you know, a lot of people that say they do pass 20 feet, but I think they'll average on that 15 foot mark. I think the 15, 16 foot is a good size for how big they would get. But they are massive animals, especially in the wild. They'll eat different, you know, gazelles. They'll eat all kinds of stuff out in Africa. So who knows how big those would really get out there. In captivity though, you know, eating rabbits, they will only get to around like that 15, 16 foot mark, but that's a giant snake at that. But yeah, the African rock python is one of my dream snakes as a kid. So that is definitely up there on my top 5 favorite snakes in my collection. And you could tell this guy's taming out very well. Yeah, he will strike if he is cage defensive, so he may strike if I intimidate him or something like that, if I'm just waving my hand in front of his face. But yeah, if you handle these snakes properly, then they'll treat you really nice. And if you handle these guys regularly, they'll become really good animals, you know, to have. I won't say they're the best pets in the world. I think they're far from being the best pets in the world. But for a person that knows what they're doing, they definitely are capable of being handled and all that. Alright guys, I'm gonna move on to my number 5 top favorite snake in my collection. This right here is the African rock python, Python Sibay. And yeah guys, I am wearing my expensive t-shirt from Sim Container. So I'm hoping the next snake doesn't make a mess all over it. She does tend to let out a little bit of bodily fluids when you try handling her. A little bit of urates. So I'm gonna move on to the next snake. Alright guys, coming in at number 5 is my mainland reticulated python, the longest and largest snake in the world. I would say largest because how big they could get, but yeah, the anaconda does take that. This snake is a little still, you know, she's becoming a little bit better, but I did just pull her out, so she is a little bit of cage defensive. But yeah, you can see those colors, those intense yellows and all that in her. She's becoming a little bit nicer. I'm trying to handle her as much as possible, especially at this younger age. Let me see, you get her. I'm gonna try to get her stretched up. All right, so she is a little bit curled up, but this girl is getting some size on her. Right now she is eating extra large rats. But yeah, that's my number 5 top favorite snakes in my collection. But the retic itself is my top favorite snake ever. Just how big these guys are and the colors that they have. It's just always been my favorite snake in the world. And I'm glad I could pursue my passion to have these snakes. As you guys probably know, I'm in a wheelchair. And I'm trying to prove to everybody that you can still have these snakes, but it's just how you work with them. I'm not gonna stop having these giant snakes just because I have a disability. So there's people on the internet that will talk down about that, but I'm gonna prove to everybody that you can do it. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching my video on my top favorite snakes top 5 favorite snakes in my collection. Thank you guys, and thank you guys for subscribing. I really do appreciate that.